What's going on, guys? Welcome back to W.D.Y.D. CSP. What do you do as a central sterile processor? Guys, we're talking back to basics, and we're in prep and pack, guys. So decontamination did a great job, guys. They cleaned our instruments. They placed our instruments in a basket with preferably a validated basket so that these instruments don't move around in there and wear out that, insulation there. They separated their silicone mat from their trays, placed it on a perforated tray so that it doesn't fall through the rack bottom and stop the spinning arms. So you're getting full cleaning action of the actual mat, full cleaning action of the tray, no shadowing, full cleaning action, full impingement of the instrumentation to get optimal and effective cleaning. So here we are in prep and pack. What is our process? Okay, we pull up our count sheet. It shows us that we have our basket, our silicone mat, and there's 3 insulated instruments that go in this basket, right? So insulated instruments mean that I have to test my insulated instruments. I have to inspect with lighted magnification for cleanliness, especially that working end or that distal tip for any charred debris, okay? In decon, they should have been brushing that off. When it soaks, they should have been brushing that to get rid of any charred items. Please avoid using metal brushes on the distal tip. These distal tips are usually coated as copper to get more conductivity. Also, you don't want to damage the insulation with that metal brush, cause any damage to it. So you're gonna inspect that distal tip. You're gonna go ahead and inspect the instrument from top to bottom, okay? Look at the insulation, okay? Look at the seal, the base of this instrument. Is the adhesive that holds that base in place cracking? Is it chipping? Is it peeling away? Is it pulling away from the base? Look at the prongs. Are they bent? Is there any cracking in the base? Is the instrument one-time use? Get rid of it. But we're pretending that it's not at this point. Okay, we're going to do that with all our instrumentation. Give a good lighted magnification inspection. Make sure with forceps that the tips align, okay? So we're going to hold it up and make sure that those tips align and that they're not cockeyed, right? That they're not sitting like so, right? Okay, you want your tips to align perfectly, okay? That there's no bends, no tears, anything of that nature, okay? If it's an irrigating types forcep, okay? You might want to have a little sterile water at your workstation, and you might want to try to push that through to see if it flows nicely. If they did their flushing over in decontamination, you're not going to get a brush that's small enough to get down there. So you're going to have to flush, right? You're not going to get a borescope that's small enough to go down there. So your only method is to flush, right? Give a flush over a white linen towel, preferably away from your instrumentation, okay, so that you don't contaminate the field if there's any kind of contaminant, okay? Remove that water from there, draw up some air, and then push it through your instrumentation again until you don't see any moisture come out the other side, okay? Now is the moment of truth, guys. We've inspected for cleanliness. Now we have to test our instrumentation. And what do you test your instrumentation with, guys? You test it with an insulation tester, right? And I happen to have one here, right? So how do we insulate test our forceps or bipolar forceps? Well, there are other methods, okay? But I'm going to use this method, guys. Now, of course, my little insulated tester is beat up. It is Frankenstein. Please don't bite back at me and, give me all obnoxious names here. But I'm going to go ahead and place my little insulation tester here. Actually, that is the wrong size there. Excuse me real quick. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my brush there on the top. Okay, for my bipolars, I'm actually going to open up my alligator clips and I'm going to hold on both sides of my bipolar so that metal contacts metal. Okay, I'm going to hold my instrumentation and press my button here. It should beep on the distal tip, right? Because that's where metal's exposed. But along the instrument, all the way to the base, I should get no beeping. Okay, now right here, I'm getting a little beeping action somewhere around here. Hold on. I did get a little beeping action. Trying to figure out where, oh, that was it touching my finger, my fault. Okay, so we're good. This instrumentation is good. Okay, we're gonna place that off to the side here. We're gonna go to our next instrument and we're gonna do the same thing. Align those bipolars so that metal touches metal. Okay, we're gonna do the distal tip. It should beep, but along the instrumentation, I shouldn't get no beeping. All the way to the base, I should get no beeping action. Okay, you're gonna go all around the instrument to the base. Okay, this instrument is good as well. On to the final instrument. Same thing here. Go ahead and grasp it. Okay, beep on metal along the instrumentation. Now it's gonna beep right here because this is where there's an insert here. I'm not concerned about that area. So I'm gonna go ahead with the rest of my instrumentation. Brush it well all the way to the base. Okay, all along the other side of the instrumentation. I will get a beep there because there is a gap there, right? There's a gap where there's an insert that goes in there. There's bare metal there. That's fine. Right there at the end, I'm gonna get a beep. Right there, I'm gonna get a beep. But along the rest of the instrumentation, wait. Oh, right there, guys. You hear that? Oh, no, that's normal as well. That's actually, I'm sorry, that little metal post right there in between there, there will be some beep in there because you're not gonna get a good insulation seal there. So that's normal as well there. But on the outside right here of the instrument, I'm getting no beeping. So this instrument right here is good to go as well, guys. So I've insulated tested my instrument. I've inspected for cleanliness. I've made sure that it functions correctly. Now I want to assemble my tray. My tray has been inspected for cleanliness, right? Make sure that there's no debris, no soil, no rusting, anything in my tray. My silicone mat needs to be inspected for cleanliness as well. So we're gonna use our lighted magnification. Make sure that there's no lint, no debris, nothing on there that's adhering onto the silicone. Because silicone will adhere to, if you use a non-linting or a low linting towel or rag and you use it on silicone, it will attract lint. It's like a magnet to it. So you wanna make sure that there's no lint on the mat. But more importantly, that it is clean. We're gonna go ahead and place our silicone mat in our tray. And it is important that when you put your silicone mat in your tray, that the perforations of the silicone mat matches or lines up with the perforations on the bottom of your tray. That is important. If it's covering up the perforation, then it's not allowing penetration of sterling. So make sure that it lines up. Okay, so we got our tray lined up with our silicone mat. We're gonna go ahead and carefully place our instrumentation in there so that it doesn't fly around or fray around in the basket. Okay, there's our instruments, nice and secure. Of course, I don't have an indicator. You want to place an indicator. If this is going into a rigid container, then you have an indicator on the opposite sides of the baskets. If you're wrapping this tray, then there's one indicator in the center or whatever is stated by the IFU of the indicator that you're using. Okay, this basket happens to have a lid. We're going to go ahead and place a lid on it. Pick the appropriate size rigid container. If you're containerizing this, place your item in there. Please ensure that you have your filter plate and the appropriate filter on your lid. Ensure that it is locked. Your tamper-resistant locks on there, and your tray is ready for the next process, which is sterilization. All right, guys, as always, stay true to yourselves. Keep it 100. Continue educating yourself. And until next time, peace.